There's just 1 minute to showtime.
The engines are on.
The following program is brought to you in living color.
When they wrote up the systems and the rule set that we use, did working people get to write a line? What class of men on pen and paper jotted down their clues, with capital the heart of their design? When 90 million want a thing, but some shareholders say no, which class of people get to have their way? The people read the fine print, say that this thing has got to go, and we'll start writing a new contract here today. Don't you know that hundreds will work and one man keeps the money? They don't think they gotta tell us why. When they say the new social contract, all the bosses will be gobsmacked and everyone will want a sign. Oh, yeah, everyone will want a sign.
Okay. Hello, cousins. We are glad to be with you and glad to have you with us on this hopefully regular Tuesday afternoon that is nothing of note.
This is kind of a regular one, at least so far.
Yeah, we kind of we're going through this period. I think everybody's kind of like, all the time because like we're just ready for some horrible thing to happen. But for the past, few weeks, things have been relatively quiet, like for us. Like that's the thing. Like it's not been like, oh shit is not happening. It's just that it's like not at the volume in the insanity level that things usually are. So our nervous systems are kind of like not really like we're just like like ready to jump at any moment. So we've kind of in a way lucked out over the past few weeks of just not having to be like like everything is horrible and we are living through the collapse and it is a nightmare and everything's the worst. So yeah, it's a good thing. And it was like also a good time. It timed out well that you were, out of the country and in China, even though like I don't think anyone could have foreseen that you would go onto the other side of the actual planet and Trump would fucking follow you there. So that was
we were landing exactly when he was leaving. It was very funny.
At least you didn't have to be there at the same time. Like you had left for Singapore at that point. So and
that's our friends sent us funny memes for the next few bits because if there's one, do I have like double audio right now? Am I messing myself up?
You sound good to me.
Chat, you'll have to tell me. Do I have a very slight echo in myself? Probably not.
No reverb. Everything sounds good. No echo, no reverb.
But yeah, the Chinese are actually very funny. Like they have a vibrant meme culture in the same way that we do. Yes. I got to see all kinds of funny things about his visit. And I'm over here, and they're like, it's basically the same. Like, it is kind of the same as usual, but I think it's weird that they brought every rich guy, that they brought like the squad of 30 CEOs. I'm like, I think this is maybe a more significant meeting than just the normal, like, let's go and shake hands, ha. Especially because you didn't hear about it.
It was so white trash and it's so American because, like, honestly, they literally like skirt up with the fucking plane. All the rich assholes jump in. They go there and then they basically just try to each one individually Shark Tank cheat. Like every single one of them was like, let me pitch you something. Like here's my butthole coin or whatever the fuck they're coming up with now.
It's so like the old days where you had to go pay tribute to the emperor because like who's running your shit? Well, you got to go down the Silk Road and go talk to China because they control all of international trade.
it was so American white trash. Like it couldn't have been, I mean, but what do you expect? Like decorum, like adult behavior, like it was ridiculous. And I think what's fun though about the whole thing is like we spend all of our time dunking on him. Like, so China got to like real time dunk on him for a while and do their memes and things like that. And I love that she was like, in a declining country, like right to their faces. And it's
the
like
whatever paradox where it's like, the tendency of historically it's a Roman thing of like the declining power and the rising power like will inevitably fight each other. And he's like, how about we don't
Right?
fight each other? With
Yeah.
the
How about
implication
we
being
just
that
fucking eat you alive? Let's just do
the
that one.
the
And
implication being
Americans are
that
like, do it, do it, do it. Did you see the bit about? Um, I don't know. I don't know that this is like 100% true, but I would believe it to be true. But like they put Trump in a slightly smaller chair.
well, see, that was a thing that I saw where I read it, and maybe it was probably just like phrased differently in a weird way. But I saw there was somebody posting like, "Oh, Xi Jinping, this brilliant man. You see, he had put a cushion on Trump's seat to make sure that they were basically the exact same height, and then Trump took the cushion off, so now he's short." I'm like, I think Trump's like 2 full feet taller than Xi Jinping, so the math doesn't work out there. Xi would need the pillow if that like not everything's a conspiracy. But
Yeah, no, I like the way that it was kind of metabolized here in the meme currency was like they put him in a slightly smaller chair, and I'm like, yeah.
if he had a cushion, then he took it off, and it made him look shorter
What
than
a
he would have
dickhead.
looked. But like he's like 6'4", like he's not.
Yeah, he's
Trump
pretty
does not
big,
need to like.
honestly.
He doesn't wear the platform shoes like some of these other
A lot
people.
of people do, yeah.
Weird number
Yeah.
of. It's like that does seem to actually. I wish that didn't matter. I think that shows how vapid our politics actually are, and
Yes.
how like it's just 2 of the same person you get to vote for. So then it comes down to like, the tall one. Oh, like
Right.
that's who ends
That's
up.
like literally the one flex that Trump has. Like that's
a big
it.
guy.
Like that he's just like he's physically imposing or used to be or I
He's
don't
a
know,
football
whatever.
player. Now he's 75. You could push him over easy.
Yeah, right.
He's
And then,
80 years
well,
old.
apparently, speaking of which, he's I don't know. Right before we went on air, I saw that he's back at the hospital, like getting another
Oh,
evaluation or some shit. So like, all the best, bro.
Yeah,
Anyway,
good luck, man.
yeah. So we're mostly gonna just kind of
You're gonna look at pictures of food I ate in China.
yeah,
That's-
no, it's super rad. Like well, like from my at home point of view, like I got to be like basically China from the cuck chair, honestly. Like it's what it really was, because he was sharing his photos with me, so I was able to see what he was doing every day, and like I was like, oh man, this is really cool because I hate to travel. He loves it. It's his life. I hate it. So like it was a really
That's
good
all I
like
do.
balance for me because I got to be there and see it like in real time, but I didn't have to actually like leave my domicile. So that worked really well for me. But this is going to be really cool, you guys, because he's going to share his photos with us and some stories about what it was like to actually be there. Because again, this was just like 2 weeks ago. So this is real time. What's going on in China? And again, we have our agenda. Obviously, like we are communist or socialist, whatever. And like he's obviously going to a place where that as close as you can get to that is working and working well. Not the first person to point this out. So, but at the same time, he's there, observing and seeing things. So like, we're not like, making things up and making it look better somehow. This is literally like, what it was, how it, the trip was and enjoying himself and such. So we're going to loop you in on all of that here. And you'll get to see some of this. Last time he went, this is the second trip. Last time he went, he did the big travel log type of a thing. But this time we're
in
just
another year and a half, I might do another one because that's how long it took me. It was a full calendar year after that I actually got that shit
it
done.
took a really that's a really involved situation. So
I
for
should do
right
a short
now,
one. Should do like an update, like a half-hour short. I see. I'll say short, and then it'll only be 1 hour because last one was literally 3 hours. If you go on if you go on YouTube and look up "An American Coyote in China," that's the name of the thing. Does that even bring it up? Does YouTube freaking search incentivize me?
YouTube search is fucking useless. I can tell you that. Like it is almost impossible to find anything on YouTube anymore. Just like completely useless.
Well, it's my top result if I do it. It has
Yeah, right?
It
Okay.
has almost 600 views.
Oh, yay! That's a good number, bro. That's a good
So
number.
bad.
So yeah, maybe he may do another one of those down the road. But for right now, here's kind of the live version of what we can. Oh, but you did have one thing you wanted to mention about Thomas Massey.
Do we want to? You know what? I'm going to start with China, and then like we'll do an intermission
get
where
to it.
we'll
Okay.
briefly talk
Well,
about how.
that's the thing about this show is we kind of have an idea what we're going to talk about, and we get to what we get to, and some things go to the left. So left field, that is. So yeah. So here we go.
Okay,
Guys,
this mostly works.
buckle up.
I'm looking at the perfect. That's what I want because like these
Excellent.
photos are not all in the same like orientation. Some are vertical, some are landscape. Oh no, that's making it weirder. Okay, never mind. Go back. Okay. So we left for like a 2 week trip in China. This is my partner, John. He's going to be in some of these photos.
Mr. John.
Get used to it.
Yeah, how,
So
did he enjoy it as well? Did he have a good time? I
he
mean, you might guess from his expression that
he like hates everything, and then after the trip, he's like, "That
We
was
have
really
that in
fun. That
common.
was great. Like I liked this." But
Yeah, good.
he had a very good trip. We both did, and I don't want to undersell or oversell the experience.
Because you just
If
look, you look like so happy and pleased, and he's just like, I don't know about this.
if you're planning on doing a trip to anywhere, if you have enough money to travel, consider looking at China. The visa is the only part that's like out of the ordinary and annoying compared to going somewhere else. But like,
Right.
if for the price of a vacation to like Rome or Paris, you could go to China twice.
Wow.
The flight is what's expensive, and even then, it was cheaper for me to do my total flights to China than like going to Europe. A lot of the times, it's kind of like a you roll the dice there. It was $1,000 to Singapore round trip, and then an additional 400-ish to do my other round trip flights. So I got two
Your
one
American
ways.
is coming out. I kind of foresee them lightening up on that the visa
Yeah,
scenario.
visa-free
like-
travel for almost the entire world, except for the United States, because it's a little mini middle finger, because we put them through a lot of trouble to get an American travel visa. But I happen to be working on Capital Volume 2. Coincidentally, I thought that was funny. We arrive in Singapore. Hooray. Yeah, we left at like 5 in the morning, and then
Yeah, so you basically for the people at home, you went Singapore, China, Singapore, as the travel route.
because a round trip flight from the U.S. to anywhere in China is over $3,000. But if you go to if you stop in Japan or Korea or Taiwan first, it is much cheaper. It is about $1,000 for that round trip, and then however much extra to go the shorter flight then to China. So we land there. We have like 3 hours to sleep, to eat, sleep, and then get back up and go on our second flight then to China. I was scared that we were going to get a delay and mess up this whole thing and ruin my life, but it didn't happen. We stopped at this place, Monster Curry. We didn't really want a monster amount of food, but that's where we had. This hotel is basically a capsule hotel. I just wanted to show how small. Like my hand is on the opposite wall, taking this picture, and then
You can almost like touch both sides. Yeah.
it's like there we go. That's the size of the room. It's slightly larger than they called them cabins, not rooms. And
Yeah. Right.
we got in, slept,
Not
got
a
up.
cell.
It was fine. This is the beautiful Changi Airport in Singapore,
Yes.
famous for being very pretty and cool and huge.
Yes.
We stopped at I'm a big boy frequent flyer, so I get to go in the lounge where it's again like 4 in the morning because these flights are always crazy early. We land in China. I just want to show how damn clean this parking garage is. Like everything's like freshly painted, and since like everybody has a job in China for the most part, like it's basically full employment. There's a lot of like not quite redundant positions, but like in the U.S. you'd have 0 to 1 guy like working this is the basically the Uber pickup thing, and I like how they organize it because they have all these little diagonally shaped spots, and then once you pick up your guy, you pull forward and just keep going. You come in this side, pull forward, burn, go. Like there's no like, oh, I have to back up and do.
Oh, you mean logic?
Yeah, things are just set up. They're just set out in a way where you're like, why don't they set this up a little better? And everything's just nice and freshly painted and swept. There's like very little trash on the ground, and if there is, somebody's coming by with a broom like within 5 minutes. Because like I was saying a second ago, there's like too many employees. There, it feels like because you're in the U.S. and like nobody can help you with anything.
Everything's a fucking ghost town here.
You're walking around Home Depot like, can anyone show me where this size of screw is? And like, no one works here.
No,
You'll never find an employee. And when we do, they won't know anything about what you're talking about. But they have like 20 guys like being, you, here, stop, you, go, move. So it just keeps the whole thing moving.
Efficient. Yeah.
Yeah. And they still have like big ass highways. I love China's trains and public transit, but they definitely have car infrastructure. But they have equally large train infrastructure and bus and everything else. Whenever you see this font and color, you're looking at commies, which is I don't know what it says, but I know it's something communist. Also, we were at can you tell? Subtle. We were at the site of the third Congress of the Chinese Communist Party. Because in the beginning, in the first few years, and they weren't annual either. I don't think they had to it was like every couple of years because they were being persecuted. If they found out you're meeting a bunch of commies, they would kill you. So they meet in this house. Okay, then in this house. Then we're gonna go over here. Oh, we had to move the meeting last second to a boat. Like that happened once. Like the last day was just done on a ship. So it's like 20 people, and it's funny because there would almost always be one like Anglo or like a German guy just with them, like still speaking Chinese, but our friends who speak very little English. There's one of them. They're like, oh, Ying Wen, meaning English, and I go over and I'm like, no, that's German. It's just in like they see English characters and they're like, that's probably English,
Yeah,
right?
sure. Yeah. It's like when you hit translate and nothing happens, and you're like, I'm sure it's fine.
Like I think this over here is written out in like, oh yeah, before decided start, and then some of it would be in half German, half English. Like he would kind of bounce back and forth. And I'm like, dude, please don't do this to me.
You don't realize how difficult this actually is.
Since cool little brick neighborhood, like this is in like the back, the alley behind them. It's kind of a, like we
You know
have
what I
preserved
noticed
historic
from a lot
neighborhoods.
of the photos, and maybe you can, comment on this. This kind of defeats what I was going to say, but some of the others, things did not seem crowded in the way that we are used to
Oh yeah,
crowds.
and we also did tourism on days where like we were doing like weekdays in the middle of the day, so the crowds weren't as bad. Things are like it's not like suffocatingly. It is definitely busy when you're in the frickin' city, but China is as big of a country as the U.S., so like you can't. There is room where like people you spread out a bit. It's just when you're at the very tourist focused. This was a Memorial Day, not Memorial Day. This is May Day weekend. Everyone else does Labor Day on May 1st because it's to commemorate the Haymarket affair, which happened in Chicago, where the cops gunned down a bunch of people who were protesting for a 40-hour work week. So every country but the United States celebrates it on May 1st. So if you see like these are slightly larger crowds than normal because this is the middle of the holiday weekend. Like I think this is freaking Friday. Yeah, this is Friday of the holiday weekend. So when we went and
And
did
it still
tourism,
doesn't seem that crowded, honestly. Like it's like you feel like I've been in places where you're like so like tight that it's just like moving you physically through. Like your feet aren't even on the ground.
that comes up in a second. We're in Guangzhou. Oh, yeah, I'm burying the lead here. We're in Guangzhou, and they have the Guangzhou Tower. So everybody in the world was trying to go down that night and like look at the tower. So it was like actually where even like other Chinese people were looking around like, holy shit, there's a lot of people. There was one guy who was like, English? Wow, it's crazy, right? Look at all these people. It's like, yeah. Oh yeah, this is a KFC. They do egg tarts at KFC, and
Okay.
they're like award-winning, the New Zealand, I guess, champion of cheese. It was a pretty good egg tart. Getting on the subway, getting on the train. These are like a tiny bit out of order, but not entirely. Oh look, McDonald's, bunch of McDonald's, all very fancy. Oh, here's Xi and his On the Governance of China.
So if you
Volume
eat it at
3,
McDonald's, do you
Volume
feel
2.
like you're eating at McDonald's, or is it like it's still very different?
It tastes exactly the same, like to a scary degree. The patties are actually a little thinner, if that's possible. But and the prices are nearly the same. Like McDonald's it's not like luxury, but it's not horribly cheap. Like you can get similar, if not much higher quality food for a lot less money. All right, so then we went like a block away, and we were at like the training facility for the very early commies, where literally Mao was sitting down doing classes. This is Mao's pull-up bar. Go over to physical training, do some
Yeah,
pull-ups.
all right.
And you'll see like, oh, here it is, little square building. Everyone's so happy in the photos. Like, Mao, tell us the young Mao, and he had like all of his hair.
Right.
And there we go, these dioramas. They're giving the pledge. They're joining the party. They're drinking tea. Oh yeah, there's the font.
Having a
It's
good
communism.
time.
I don't know what the 5.1. I'm sure it stands for something. Then just outdoor shops because we're at tourist attractions. Then a bunch of food.
Wow, yeah, that's a very large amount of food.
This is Cantonese. I'm sure you've heard the thing where it's like culturally in China, you order a bunch of big piles of shit, and then everybody just kind of takes some of everything.
Okay, yeah,
Absolutely the
pretty
thing, and I like
normal.
that because I like eating multiple foods. It's crappy
Right.
when you go out by yourself because anything you order is gonna be a big. You're like, can you give me
Right.
like 5 little portions of other things, please? You'll see this says Pigeon Specialty Store, and in Guangzhou, this is Cantonese food. It's actually the most similar to the kind of stuff you find. Like if you look at this, like this could be like P.F. Chang's. If you like take of like, okay, I've seen food that looks like that. And the hot lettuce is a weird one. Like there's a lot of hot romaine lettuce. They like saute it, and
Oh.
I think it's good. It's just weird. You're like, huh?
Well,
Cooking
yeah,
lettuce?
you got to be like open to eating different things and like
But even like food you're very familiar with prepared in a different way. But
mm-hmm.
Cantonese food, they are like the kings of poultry. So you have like chicken, duck, goose, pigeon, as you see here.
Oh, geez.
Eating pigeons. They're not like pigeons on the street. They're specifically for food. Like, they're
Food
food-raised
pigeons.
pigeons. They're just grabbing them on the
Something
corner.
I did notice as I was looking through the photos as you were sitting them was that the food is very artistic looking. We're
It's
used
presented
to
pretty nice.
yeah. Well, we're used to like having like some disgusting poison thing shoved in a box and thrown through our car window and say go over there and eat it in the dark. and shame. But you see this stuff and it's like it looks like it's meant to be enjoyed visually as well. So
They have upped the game is much upped in China on just basic food presentation. That's for like places both like cheap, middle, and expensive. Like this is not a fancy place at all, but I got a scallop. We're not just gonna get a scallop. You're gonna get a scallop on a bed of noodles with covered in caramely garlic on a little bamboo thing, so you can like just shoot it.
yeah, it'd be fun. Yeah, it's a fun if you're into different foods and stuff like that.
This is fried rice, but it's pigeon fried rice because I would include that. And these little red things that didn't I'm pretty sure they were called wolfberries, and they were just in a lot of stuff like a mild taste. I think they're more for like more for a seasoning aspect. But they're not spicy. I thought they were gonna be really spicy. We went in the Huawei store, and this is just like a Wi-Fi router, but it's just like everything's cool looking.
Yeah, it's cool for no reason because.
General like cool buildings. Whoa, look at all this. Okay, now we're in. This is like as crowded as it ever was on the trip, and this is us trying to get to the tower. Oh, the gay tower. It just has RGB on it, and the lights point inwards, so like the structure itself is lit up, but like on the inside, and of course they play little light programs with it. Oh, there's blue, like it's constantly changing. And then if you look inside, like I didn't notice that from all the pictures, the inner structure is irregular. It's not just like tower. It's here's a chunk here, chunk there, and then kind of thins out, and then a big chunk up here, and the big view. We did not go up it because we would have waited in line for like literally all day. This is a nearby mall. Though we actually had here's where we had two different people who just wanted to take pictures with us because we were tall and white. And like, photo. I'm like, sure. Let's see if I think I'm 40. Looking at fancy cars.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, these cars cost very slightly more than like my car at home, which is not fancy.
Yeah, well then we've all seen the videos of how fucking rad they are. So like that, seeing it in person, this would be pretty cool.
So many features, I won't bog myself down just because I have so many effing photos to go through. Then I was playing a show at a convention. So yeah,
yes,
and in the ballroom. Then we went out for a late night barbecue. Like barbecue meaning over there, it's like you get things on skewers. And this place, it was late. That's one of the only things that's open for like midnight to 2 a.m. food is barbecue. Oh, I just noticed this was like a precursor. This is an advertisement for a store that's all you can eat Korean barbecue, and we end up going to one of these, like this same chain in Cheongdu, the last city that we're in. So hey, look at that. I didn't even realize. But look at this street, everything's closing down, and this is not the center of the city. This is just kind of outskirts like that.
Again, extremely clean and well put together.
That's why I do this is because there is a little bit, because it's the end of the night and they haven't gone through and swept. Like there is a little bit of street debris. There's a couple like you see forks on the ground and cups, etc. Like stuff is shut down for the night and it doesn't look all as shiny. But then you go there the next day in the daytime, you're like, oh yep, they cleaned it all up. There it is, back ready to go. They got those little like carts that kids can ride around in, just like in American like mall areas. Kmart, haha. Dear coffee. This was our friends kept pointing at this and saying Kobe Bryant. It's like brisk iced tea, but apparently Kobe was either on it or just uses his colors. Then hey, we're at the menu of stuff I cannot read. This was our late night barbecue.
So many options too. It's like just name what you feel like, and it's just like 1,000 different things you can choose from.
So many beers.
Cool.
This is where we had probably the weirdest food and the strongest concentration of weird food items, where we have, hey, friends, having a good time. Free thing of hot, there's always hot tea. Anytime you're sitting down, you'll get a jug of hot tea. Weird food. One, I think it's funny that they line up corn. Like they'll just line up a bunch of...
That's what that was. Like, okay, that and that takes some time and effort, like you would never get something like that here. Yeah.
I hope they have a machine or something to help them like at least line up the corn so they can. But looking closely, these are grasshoppers, and
oh no,
they were grilled.
Did you eat them?
I had a couple of them just to basically say I did, and they're like I've had like a cooked cricket before. It's a lot. It's like if you had only popcorn hulls, where it's just dry and crunchy, crispy. Like the taste is fine, but the taste is just like the powder they put on it. So it's like I don't know. Big just chunk of tofu, just a tofu slab, and then what do we have? Sparrows.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I'm like, that looks like the shape of an animal.
It's every bird in Canton region. Sparrows are like this big, and once you get like the bones out, there's so little meat on them. You're kind of like, what's the point?
Yeah.
There's like nothing to actually eat on this. And I didn't have a picture of it, or I probably do. It just got out of my things here. But they had no way to get around it. They had a pig's penis, but like
Wow.
on a skewer and deep fried. I did not eat that, but they were eating it. I was
You
like,
have your limits.
this is like they're like, yeah, this isn't like a prank. This is semi-normal, but that's for it's the like late night barbecue. This is your like drunk food.
Yeah.
So and
Probably
being
big
like,
for tourism too, to be like, ha ha, like
what can we fry and put on a stick, and that will be your
feed
barbecue.
to dumb white people. Like they'll eat it for sure.
This is the hotel we were in. It was like it was some Western chain. I think DoubleTree. Yeah, it was DoubleTree. We got cookies. I remember that, and it's very nice. The gloves. If you have any finger food, they will provide you gloves.
Nice.
Especially if they're like takeout. Oh yeah, they didn't give us gloves for the barbecue. I was just doing that's finger food. But for the most part, like if you go to KFC or Domino's, they will just give you these clear gloves, and it seems silly at first, but then like you eat with them, and you're like, oh, this is nice. My hand is clean. I can.
Yeah.
I didn't get
Also, like you've not ingested extra germs. So.
I didn't get hot sauce all over my fingers.
Yeah.
This was a Pizza Hut. Oh yeah, there you can see Pizza Hut. It came with like it's like crunchy Cheetos, but covered in a different like almost like beef bouillon powder, and then served with nacho cheese to dip in. I'm like, all right. There's like waffle fries and chicken wings, fried rice.
Yeah, there's just so much like offerings. Like you can just go there.
They
And
have
have
like
all kinds
everything.
of-
Like
yeah.
Pizza Hut has like 9,000 items over there. So does KFC.
Right?
This was like a cheesesteak thing. It was like beef slices and then bell pepper, onion, and then salt egg on the crust in like little cups like that. Pizza Hut, China. Played a show, fun
Yes.
times. Woo!
Excellent.
Big board.
Your
and a dog.
first show to play in China, so that's fun.
It's my first
How
Chinese
is
show.
how is the difference from playing anywhere else? Like, is there anything
People
about
are
there?
very good audience. You just they feel like they have to. It seems like the vibe is that they want permission to do the things. Like if they're gonna clap or cheer or sing or whatever, they just need anyone else to encourage them, and then they have no problem and they have a good time with it. Like I kept doing like because barely anybody speaks English, and I had a couple of like written down Chinese phrases that I said to be funny, and people laughed, so it worked, and I
Hey.
guess I was understood. But everybody understands. Like, if I just mime a clap or like you move forward. They start out, everybody's kind of sitting in the back. I'm like, no, come on up. Then everybody slides forward. But yes, the audience was into it. The room was pretty
Cool.
full. It was a multi-use room, so it's hard to be like, well, were they there for me specifically, or were they there because of the activities going on in the back? Was it both? I don't know. Who's to say?
Still having a good time either way.
Yes.
You count it. It counts.
Good reaction. Everyone seemed to be having fun.
Good.
And I was told like it's like, oh, this is a semi-unique thing, because it's some things are more difficult to do or require more like permission and have like red tape and permit things than here. Like they don't have usually panel discussions are a big part of any of these conventions where you sit in a room and talk about a topic, and they're like that seems to be that's where it's like, oh, it's hard to get permission. I'm like, wait, what? Huh? Why is that the hard thing to do? While you guys have like they're bringing in arcade machines and they have like display motorcycles in the basement and like other things that in the U.S. would require more permissions don't. But then hosting a thing of like how to draw is somehow like we don't want to mess with that because it becomes a whole can of worms. I'm like, really? Huh. So like having a live concert was kind of like, I don't know, is this okay?
Oh, yeah, you lucked out on that then. The thing that you do, like, it's easy to make it happen.
I'm like, I'll give you a list of the songs I'm doing. You can check ahead of time. So now we're on train travel to go to our second city. We are leaving Guangzhou, now going to Chongqing, and we booked the VIP seats. And we took pictures and sent them to our friends. And they're like, that is not a VIP seat. You are getting scammed. So, like, the trains have classes and G, and you train with G in the front of it. Like, G 8735. That's the top level of trains. And this was listed as a G. But very clearly, after being on it, and just now I have a tiny bit of experience with it, this is really a D train, which is the one level under G. Like, they're not horrible, but they're just older. They're slightly older, have less features, less comfort things.
Still like 1,000% better than anything you'd find, in the West. So.
Oh, if you compare this to Amtrak, it's still like leaps and bounds better. But this cabin, the VIP cabin, had a single power outlet in it. It's like, what? They have charging in like every seat now. There was no Wi-Fi on the train. I was like, what the hell? So really, they sold us a D train ticket, but at G train prices. And our friend's like, you need to lodge a formal complaint because they can't, the Chengdu Railway, you can't get away with it. They're like, oh, wait, who's operating this? Of course, it's Chengdu. Like, they have regional operators for the different things. And apparently that one has a reputation of this kind of thing. So, like, you need to frickin' say something. And we did. We submitted a little thing of, hey,
Rude.
this is not the right kind of train.
Take advantage of us dumb Westerners like we didn't know.
If it's a D class train, you got to sell us D class tickets, and if it's G, then you freaking. But we have it was a private little cabin off of the one of the second class cars where we have 3 rows of 2 and then 1, 2 then 1, 2. So what would that be? 9 total chairs in this little cabin. And we were
It'd be fun
totally
if you had like 8 other friends, you know, like you're like.
we were totally alone for. Well, it's also weird booking when you book your train tickets in China. If you book them together, you're going to be as close as like logistically possible, but you don't get like the seat map like on an airplane where you just go, I want this seat and this seat. You get your class of service down, like we would have gotten one of these seats in this freaking cabin, or there might have been another one on another one of the cars. But specifically which seat you can't select. You just kind of get it like the day before. It'll be like, all right, you're 2A and 2B, or in this case 2A and 2C, and then you just kind of there you go. On our second train, we had a thing where we had a situation where it was me and him were like window aisle, but we wanted to be window middle and sit next to each other. But then we got to our seats, and there was already like a couple that had like an infant that they had already like they were in one of our seats. So then the guy comes up for that seat, and through miming, we're like, all right, I want to be here, you want to be here, blah, blah, blah. Can we just execute a 3-way switch, and then all of us are happy? And they're just like, yeah, we got it, cool.
Yes.
And that
Yes.
was. So it's probably common that you end up, because you can't choose your seat. So then if you show up and you want to sit next to somebody, everyone's like, yeah, okay, if I can move. Because it was an aisle seat guy who just had to move forward 1 seat and still be in an aisle, and he was
Right.
alone anyway. So he's like, well, it doesn't matter to me. And everything was fine. It was relaxed. Nobody seemed too uptight about it. It was also a shorter. This was a 6-hour train ride. The second one was a 2-hour train ride. You get the VIP snacks.
Oh, nice.
We just so you can turn
Lots
the
of leg
seats.
room.
You can turn the seats around to like face each other, because if you're in like a group of 4 and you all want to be talking to each other. But
Right.
yeah, we're kind of large people, so we took these of like, look how much.
Yeah.
Mountains out the window, just very vertical. Just look, they look artificial. Neat trains. I like this. It's just people fucking parking wherever because they're probably working over here. We're going past a lot of agricultural areas. All the trains coming through this mountain. Woo.
Right.
The only bummer about the train ride is since it's so mountainous, you spend a lot of it underground. We got mostly for the meme, just to see that you could do this. Is you're going on the train app, and for food options, there will be at a future stop we have XYZ food items, and if you order it early enough, when we get to that stop, someone will come and just hand the food onto the train, and then they will bring that to you, so you can order things like KFC to your seat. And I took a picture of this bag, just the carry-out bags and like the cups you would get, the disposable cups, are just really high quality. Like, you feel bad throwing it away because it's disposable, but it's like an insulated bag that's relatively thick. And then all the coffees you would get are in a cup. Like, it's like I have cups that are like I've paid for or got as like supposed to be permanent plastic cups at my house that are like higher quality than this cup that I'm getting here that is disposable. I'm supposed to just drink it and throw it away.
Wow.
It's almost like, remember the 90s plastic? Like what a freaking shopping bag. The plastic bags were just like
Right.
4 times thicker. That's what it's still like in China. They have all the 90s plastic. Your bottle of Coke, it isn't like, doesn't crumple immediately if you were to squeeze it. It's like, oh fuck, this thick ass plastic. I forgot about this. Which I don't know. I don't know if that's good or. It's probably better to have
a more
thinner.
robust recycling and trash program, than we do here. So I mean, it's not obviously a problem for them. So why not?
Something interesting to think about. I don't need my plastic to be thicker, but when you go back to using, you're like, holy crap, this is.
You feel like you had something. It's the difference.
What a nice little bag. So KFC sold like one combo. It wasn't a full menu of KFC things, and the combo was like these two sandwiches you're about to see, one juice, one Pepsi, and you couldn't change the drink. Like, you could change nothing about the order. It's interesting. And it was also way jacked up prices, and all our friends were like, "That's crazy! Can't believe they charge that much." It's
Also,
still less than
they would do
US.
the same thing here.
It's because you're on the train. It's like,
right.
if
Yeah.
you want to get this shit delivered to your seat, you get the special train menu, and
Right.
it's like when you go on DoorDash here, and everything is upped prices. Still less than I would have spent in the U.S. 2 of these egg tarts again. Got these sandwiches are not very large, and then we got 2 little chicken wings in a bag. Those are spicy. I ordered extra of the tarts. Oh yeah, this family eventually ended up. They entered a few stops later. They speak no English. I'm pretty sure it's like grandma and 2 kids. That seemed to be the norm. It would be grandparents hanging out with kids, like on a random weekday, and they were going home to Chongqing after visiting relatives in Guangzhou. We were translating back and forth. Very, very nice, very adorable. We're watching freaking Fallout 2, which I've seen not Fallout 2, Fallout Season 2. So I've now seen that, and we can talk about that. When you reference that in the future, I'll know what you're talking about.
Yes.
But watching that thing, and I just kind of subtly, because I don't want to startle anyone. I'm like, that kid is definitely over the seat. Like watching whatever we're watching, and I'm like, this is a very violent show. We should like angle this away. I'm almost nervous of like, oh crap, what if grandma's gonna see the kids walk and then they're gonna yell at us? Like, stop watching violent shit.
Right? Yeah.
Turns out later we went and saw Mortal Kombat in theaters, and violence censorship is not as much of a thing as I thought it was, because that we watched that movie. It's if that was censored, I don't know what's in the uncensored version.
Right.
Like, they had all of the extremely violent sequences, and we're just there watching them in China. It's like, okay,
that's kind of the message we get here, that they're so censored they can't see or do anything. Okay,
yeah,
all right.
it's just because they are censored in some things, but I thought it was violent. I thought like you couldn't show like deaths or corpses, and there were a lot of corpses.
Yeah, right.
That's kind of a thing, and I think either Taoism or one of them is like you're not supposed to like gaze upon corpses. So like piles of bones can be a weird no, or it like takes your video game from like rated T to rated M or whatever. And we're like, what? It's just bones. Who cares? And it's like, well, no, see, you're not supposed to show dead bodies. I guess
Maybe
like
because it's like
ghosts.
science fiction fakey stuff, that there's a some difference there, but
Yeah, it's probably just relaxed since the 80s.
right, yeah.
Okay, we get to the train station, making our way out. Got to find another friend in another parking garage, and they have their own car. They have one of these fancy electric cars. We're driving around, looking at stuff. Nighttime Chongqing. I hate taking photos out of a car because you always get like this. We can just see the windshield and reflections.
Yeah.
You're trying to look at this cool bridge. Chongqing is it's kind of like a humongous Pittsburgh, in that there's like 3 rivers all coming together at once, and then there's hills coming off of that. So the city is built in some interesting ways, and a lot of bridges at various levels, where it's like, so where do I have to drive to get onto this bridge? Because I'm down here and I have to go up like 3 stories, and if you miss an off ramp, you're screwed. Building
you
with a
kind of get
building
that
across it.
kind of the old. I mean, I know that you can clearly see it's not old, but it's like the older style mixed with the obvious like modern, buildings. Oh yeah, I thought this was really cool.
There was a
was
drone
this just
show.
a nightly drone show, like
because it was Memorial Day weekend. It's like, yeah, this
Right.
whole week, every night at this time, they've been doing a drone show. So we got to watch some of that through the windshield as we drove around and parked. And I knew they were real on some level, but at the same time, like you see the video clips of the drone shows, and I'm like, is that real? Is that is that generated? Is this a real thing they really do? And it must be, because now I've seen it with my own eyes.
Right.
Shortly after it, they formed a giant like ship, like a sailing ship, and it rocked back and forth. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is really neat.
I've borne witness to a very janky in person drone show. When you're like, is that supposed to be a tank or a chicken wing? Like, you can't really tell. So, like, oh no, it's a turkey. No, it's a tank. So, like, that's the thing. Like, you see those really sophisticated ones like that on TV, but it's still pretty interesting to behold. It's
I thought it was
still
at least as
something
cool as a fireworks show.
Yeah. It's like a quiet. But what's weird though is you can hear it. Like, you wouldn't think that you hear like 40 like 300 drones or whatever like sync up, and you're like, it sounds like a large fan. It's very strange.
So we met up with friends, had our first of many hot pots, because Chongqing that's the birthplace of hot pot.
Okay.
Whether or not that's true or not is of course debated, but
Sure.
And it didn't make it clicked with me when they were like, oh yes, because in Chongqing in the past, people were so poor, like you couldn't afford, you could afford to buy a part of a pot, so it became this communal thing where you get your section of the communal hot pot that you all paid for the broth. I'm like, oh, that actually does make sense to me, because
Right.
most food comes out of like necessity of like, oh, here's what we got, let's make
That's
it
why
let's
you're,
make it work.
ultimately eating grasshoppers and sparrows.
Yeah, like you
It's
don't
like
just start eating it because you
traditional.
wanna. It's like, all right, what
Right.
is the available food? Pigeon, got it. All right,
Right. Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
like how you get freaking like chitlins and shit. Like it's
Oh
not
yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
everyone's favorite. It's like this is what we had to work with. Speaking of which, these are testicles.
Okay. All right.
Those were good and not weird. Like I was like, oh, this is gonna be very strange. The texture was nice. The taste was nice. I mean,
Yeah,
you
that's
cooked
and
them.
again, that's where you get kind of the no waste, which we are not used to, in West. Like you just like throw out everything all the time. And this is like, no, this is, tip to taint. This is
Well,
you use
in the
everything
U.S.
here.
in the U.S. we call those Rocky Mountain oysters. That's like
Right,
a semi-famous thing. But
right.
those were hot potted up. There you go, the hot pot. We have the one quadrant that's not spicy because John does not eat spicy food. It hurts him. It hurts him internally. And then we have the semi-spicy one here. But yeah, you get strips of raw meat, vegetables, etc. You dump it all in there, and then you grab them out, and that's hot pot. Yeah, nice.
Fun.
There's this fancy car that says hello, like has
Oh,
like a little LED thing on it. Uh,
nice.
it also it parks itself, like you get near the spot, and then it'll do the whole finagling, backing in, etc. Which is great because then you just get out of your car, start walking in the store, and then it's parked, and you're already like halfway up the elevator.
When you see stuff like that, it's just like you're reminded that they just kind of do stuff just for fun, and we don't have that here. Like everything is just like the bare minimum of existence. Like you are paying exorbitant prices for like the worst possible quality of anything,
And
and
sometimes it ends up getting tamped
getting
down on
getting laughed
afterwards.
at by the people who provide this shit. And then they're just like, no, here, our car says hello. There's no reason for it. It's just cute and fun, and we like it.
They used to have features in cars where they would not only park themselves but like drive around and find a spot and do everything.
Wow.
And they did like take that back where they're like, okay, you can't do that. You can still have it park itself, but you can't have it just going around the parking lot by itself anymore. You have to find a spot first, then allow it to park itself. So like they will occasionally try shit and then they'll go, actually no, we gotta like
Yeah.
adjust a thing
Yeah.
afterwards.
You
And then
get
in the
a
future,
little
they
too
might bring that
excited
back. Be like, actually, it's fine. Just let the car park itself. We've improved the technology.
here. Right.
Oh, what even was this? Oh yeah, this is we were on a train just looking at this like big ass control room. Just
Yeah,
looks
neat.
old fashioned. They get these screens, and these big switch things and lights. It's like that's not cutting edge technology, but
No.
it still looks cool. You'll see these every once in a while, just like communism. Remember, if you need help, who are you gonna call?
Right.
Walking around Chongqing. Chongqing is not as shined up presentation wise as like a Shanghai, Beijing. Not that it looks shitty necessarily, but not every building is covered in like a light show necessarily.
Right.
It's more like this is a city just where people live and do things.
Utilitarian.
Yeah, like we are here we're just living. We're
Still
not
nicer
like
than anywhere you could go here.
it's not where the president's house is. It's not like the commerce center. It's a city.
Here's your
Uh,
tiny drink.
This is a full size can. I just have very large hands. This is okay. It does look tiny.
It looks like when you see Andre the Giant holding a can of beer.
This is a regular size can, but this is Chenfu Cola or Cola, Chenfu
Alright.
Cola, and it tastes kind of similar to Coca-Cola. I got that randomly out of a machine, and then later friends came up to like, "Oh, this is our local Chinese cola." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I've had this. This is really good."
Cool.
Bunch of bridges of every possible style. I see this one has like, does it have one of them? A couple of them are like 2-layer, where one layer is for the train, and the other layer is for cars.
You seeing these kind of infrastructure things kind of defeats that argument that you get from a lot of stupid Westerners who are like, oh, well, these are just for the tourists to see. These things go to nowhere and they don't actually have. No, they literally have the full, complete infrastructure of everything that they actually need to be a
It's
functioning.
part of why I
country.
mentioned that this is not a shined up city specifically for tourists in the same way that they try to present like Shanghai as like, here's our model perfect city that's just really great for anybody who shows up, so the tourists especially, blah blah. And, millions and millions of people just live in Shanghai also. But Chongqing, 30 million people. It's one of the biggest cities in their country, let alone the world. And this is definitely not that. It is these structures exist for people who live and work there, not necessarily to try and impress anybody.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
I
still
had a
impressed,
mazillion one
honestly,
of these
because
things.
it's like you look at it, it's clean, it's nice, it's not overcrowded.
So
You
mirror
know,
screen.
there,
This
yeah, there's little artistic little flourishes, which
just
you do
everywhere.
kind of see here a little bit, but it's like they're always like chipped up and graffitied, like and not fixed, and so
So
it's
I
like
keep
living in Blade Runner here. And when you see this stuff, it's like hard to even fathom that that there are alternatives to how things are.
like most American cities will have at least one, maybe two, depending, like nice areas where like, oh, here's the Riverwalk, and it's kind of like if you go to Chicago, the Riverwalk, it's beautiful, and the buildings
Right.
are pretty, and it looks kind of nice. There's that one, the nice spot. In Chinese cities, it's just like every spot. There's a little like I want to be like, oh, this is the Times Square of Chongqing, but I would have to say that like 8 different times.
Right.
This is another one of them. This is like a not even commerce area. It's like a go out to eat. Here's the mall. If you want to buy a phone, like there you go. There's Huawei. This is a big mall. We went to a semi fancy hot pot because everything's hot pot. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, we got spicy, not spicy, split in half. You'll see these up to like a 9 grid of like three by
Wow.
three, a 3 by 3 of these, and that's harkening back to the people were so poor that I could only afford 1/9 of a hot pot to share with 8 other people.
Yeah. Well, that
This
goes to show you, it's like that used to be like full necessity, my 1/9, and it
and
was
now
going
it's
to get me through
fun.
for
Like
like
we have
days. And
9
now it's like,
flavors.
yeah, here's fun. Now it's for fun piece, and you can have a whole half of one if you want.
Yeah,
Like
got
so.
9 different sauces going if you really want. Hot pot, you'll have like the buffet of like these are not metered. You can have as much of these salad bar things as you want. Little chunks of pineapple and zucchini and pickles, etc. And then the things on the skewers, that's how they charge you at this style of hot pot. Is they count the number of skewers, and each one is worth a certain amount of money. If you have enough, like we did, because we just had a shit ton, they just weigh them. Like, all right, you have 2 pounds of skewers. That's probably about this much. So some food items would have like 2 skewers in them because that's this one's double the price because it's like a
Right.
fancy meatball or something as
Right.
opposed to a cheap chunk of meat. Yeah. And then we got
And then also you get like all these just huge variety of things too. That's something that you would just pay so exorbitantly. Like if you took that and then you were served that table worth of food here, you're talking $300 meal like easily before any kind of expectation of tip.
this is for like we had like 6 or 7 people at this, so there's part of why there's so much food, but there's just like large amounts of food everywhere you go. These if they sell like hot pot. I thought it was fudge at first, but they sell like hot pot bricks, where this is the base, and then you take
Oh
a
yeah,
chunk
like
of this,
okay, that
you
makes
throw
sense.
that in
And
the
it's
pot, and
seasoned
then
already. That's actually really like a good idea. Like
it's great for
nice.
tourists. You can take it home. We got free ice cream after this, which is just like the shittiest quality ice cream. Nothing changes. It's like in the U.S. where it's like, oh, have the free buffet ice cream, and it's the worst ice cream. Chongqing, looking at the stairs. Hey, here's us at that. We're like our hotel was right in the middle of everything. Just
I like
pretty looking
the kind of the
buildings.
old meets new kind of embracing of how that they've done it. They're not just like, don't look over here. They're like, no, here's our old shit and here's our new shit, and it's together and it's rad.
Chongqing had a lot of like there's like chickpeas
Mm.
in their noodle dishes, which at first you're like, what the hell? And then you eat it, you're like, oh, this adds like a thickening to the texture. I just like chickpeas in general.
Oh, me too. I
That was a
I
cool.
literally live on hummus. That's my entire food.
Consider doing a wad of chickpea into a noodle dish in the future especially if it's a little spicy. Okay, here now we're in the 816 nuclear facility. That's where I got this hat.
Right.
They built a back when I'm not gonna get on a tangent about this. Back when China thought they might have to go fight the USSR in a war, which was a thing. You're like, what? They're both communists though. Why were they fighting? Like, not getting into it. But from like the late 70s to the mid 80s. They were working on this was not a nuclear power plant, but a refining facility, so they could like enrich uranium and stuff. Smarter people than me will know the specifics. But they
Right.
built this giant mountain underground facility because it's near a river, so they could use the water for cooling. And then when it was about 3/4 or so, like 4/5 done, the plant like things had changed and they no longer thought they were going to go like they were no longer, the USSR was collapsing, so it wasn't really going to be a problem. And
Mhm.
they shifted resources and priorities. They're like, all right, stop this project, we're not going to finish this. Everybody, you'll be like reassigned. And it was built in secrecy where they brought in people from far away so they wouldn't have any familial relations or know anybody or have any reason to be like, oh, let's go out and
Talking about it.
start
Right.
talking to my nephew about what I'm doing over here. And it's just it was in the middle of nowhere intentionally. Like it's 2.5 hours or so drive with the modern highways from Chongqing. Oh, look, they're doing wine. They just, well, it's a cave. Let's do some wine down here.
Sure.
Then
Why
later
not?
there's a cafe that's selling the wine. That felt very American to me. It's like, we gotta, come on, merchandise.
Yeah,
Stick
right.
a restaurant
Make
in this
use
thing.
of it. I mean, well, that's sometimes it's like it's not just like, oh, we're capitalizing like capitalism, but it's just like we're using this space and not wasting it and making
By
sense
the
out
time
of
on the tour you get to the little cafe, you're like, I'm a little hungry. Like it's done out in a way where you're also like, oh, nice. Thank goodness there's drinks here, because otherwise you're just walking around a giant cement freaking coffin for for 3 hours.
it. Yeah,
going,
we
"Oh."
need a snack after this.
But after the project was done, like when they put an end to it, then you just
Right.
have all these people who have spent, in some cases, like most of their lives, because like let's say you got here when you're like 20, and then you worked for 18 years on this freaking project. It's like that just was your life's work, and
Right.
now it's just like, all right, we're
I'll
not
do.
finishing it, but thank you.
Right.
So then the government, they built like the town that you'll see like around it. Like, all right, everybody, you can go back to your home thing. You probably don't even know anybody now because it's been like a generation of
Right.
people working on this. Or we built some apartments because things going. You can live here. You can go over to Chongqing if you want.
I mean, that's the way of it. Like when you're working on something like just as a job, you don't necessarily feel like, oh, I'll be here for the end game of this. Like you're just doing your work.
So yeah, this is my favorite, like, please be quiet way of, hush, do not drown out the voices of history. Like, damn, that's
It's
intense.
like so polite to tell you to shut the fuck up. Like, do
The
not
voices of
annoy
history.
people here.
Made
Do
me feel
not
bad. I'm
come
like,
in this area.
it's like, I don't want to drown out the voice of history. So we had like the switchboard room, and they're like, each one of these things cost like this crazy amount of money for all the monitoring of the nuclear stuff. I don't know what this stuff is.
I knew that when I saw that picture. There was no caption. I could just tell from the green lighting. I was like, they're on a nuclear facility. Like I knew it.
They put the glowy shit, and if I walked around to the other angle, it's in like the nuclear, like the 3 wedges, like radiation, careful, and you're in this big cavernous room, and very neat. Oh, look, the hat. John was very mad that I bought this hat. He's like, people are gonna think things. I'm like, they're gonna think what?
Oh.
I didn't wear it much in China because I was scared. Like, I don't want people to think I'm like mocking. It's like, no, this is earnest. This is.
No, yeah, no, I'm sincere. This is,
I like
you the words for like for the characters for sincere. Like
I like what the commies have done with the place. Like, it's actually kind of nice.
I agree. This is
Drive
I'm in
around.
agreement here.
Mountains. Now we're going to our other tourist thing because luckily our friend had his car. Who has the car, like, was willing to just take a whole day and just drive us around because he also works for himself. He's an artist. Aha,
Nice.
like me. So we can just take a day off, and we're going to the 3 natural bridges. There's like a big ass gorge where they have natural bridges. Like there's stone. There's like a hole in the stone, and you can go over the top bridge. There was a fight scene from Transformers 5 was in this set. I know, was in this setting. Crazy man. The cliffs are just so vertical, like you don't get a sense of scale from the photos, but it's just so enormous. It's like it boggles your mind. It's dizzying to look at.
Nice
Oh yeah, we had like a fucking dung beetle. I've never seen one in real life, and then this guy was just there, and we're like, dude, get off the path. You're gonna die.
Nice.
We're on this mountain footpath. If this was the U.S., there would be like a cage going up 9-10 feet because people would just throw themselves off this shit. Like, like I'm not even trying to be freaking morbid here, but remember there was that structure in New York City they built that they had to just keep. That it's like it looks like a big beehive thing, and there's stairs, and it's kind of cool, nice. I can walk around on this, and it started out cool, fun, and then after the first few people threw themselves off the higher levels, now you have to pay to go in, and there's a big fence. Like everything from the 3rd floor up has full cage.
If we have to
fence.
clean you off this motherfucker, you're gonna pay a fee at least.
And to try and get people to not fucking kill themselves because you're just like you're in a miserable society where that's a consideration.
Right.
In Brazil, there was a mall where they're like, yeah, this mall is now like if you get too close to they had to build like glass panels and then things above that because people kept throwing themselves off the 7th floor of it. And that just doesn't seem to be, not that it never happens in China, of course, but not to the degree where they need to be fencing you in to stop yourself from freaking lemminging off.
Not like in mass, like
yeah, like not like a daily, weekly occurrence.
you have to get the hoses out and the squeegees.
walking through this
It looks
crazy,
great. Like
beautiful thing.
I'm like I love to see stuff like that. I like how when things like that, if there's going to be something built, like utilize what's there, like that makes sense to me.
They do a good job of both preserving the nature you're in while also making it very walkable. Like you gotta go down a shit ton of stairs, but only down. You saw that we have that big elevator. It's also it's a double stack elevator, woo. And it rotates as you go down. So even if you're like in the back at the start, then I'll spin around and I can get a good view.
Just thoughtful stuff for no reason. Just
Tourist, tourist selfie platform. It's both like thoughtful and nice, but also it clears up freaking traffic. So like then okay, I can get my picture and move on. There's too many people. We got to eliminate these choke points.
Right.
There were also a bunch of, I don't think I got a picture of them. But
it's like so amazing to see just like the most basic expression of logic, through these things. Like it's like, it's such a night and day difference between like, here's this really nice peaceful place that makes complete sense and we've designed to remove people through here, and then
people want to see it.
Like,
we can try and stop them, or we can make it easier.
Yeah.
Like we can instead make this an easy, like seamless process to then make.
And there again, you see, like here we're bringing in the old with the new. Like we're celebrating our heritage. Like we're not pretending like it didn't happen.
This was for a movie set. This isn't even like some ancient temple that was built. Like this is a movie in the 90s. Movie in the 90s. All these like wire things, they're for lightning strikes. They were added later because if lightning hits one of these, then it'll go into the ground and won't like blow a hole in the building.
Right.
I guess is the idea. And then they take that movie set and do we just knock it down or let it fall apart? No. We're gonna turn this into the snack bar and souvenir shop.
Right? Like it makes complete sense, honestly.
These were the things that were like there was a statue at the beginning of it of frickin' Bumblebee from Transformers, but we're looking at it, it's kind of like this feels like tacky. Like why would you? It'd be like if you were at the Grand Canyon and then they put like, I don't know, Ronald McDonald.
Somebody's like nature picture, like trying to like coming up too close to a buffalo.
It's like this kind of detracts from. It's kind of funny, but it's like, dude, get this out of here.
This is really fun too in there. Gotta throw some silliness in there.
Oh yeah, got a sweet potato. They just give you the potato and a spoon. Just eating the thing.
Loose sweet potato. Okay.
These are like taro root, but it's a potato chip, but instead of a potato, it's taro root.
Okay.
But the fact that it's by Lay's was just like, oh, I really like taro, and the fact that Lay's just has, like, there you go. Here's your Lay's China division lime salt taro chips.
All right.
Chongqing at night.
Oh yeah, we see that a lot in the influencer videos and things about like look how nice it looks at night. They don't even have to do this.
This is the famous, these are the most famous view side of the river to take pictures of things. And so, like, a little bit of Chongqing in the middle is kind of like that, but a lot of the high-rises are
cool. It fucking looks cool. I mean, like, what do you want? Like, do it just because it's cool. Like, you might get one or two of those in a big city in the United States.
So this is out of order, but this is the little town leading up to that nuclear facility that we were talking about. And I say little town, and then you look at it and you're like, well, where is it? As we go here, this is a rest stop we stopped at. Bus stop, just like in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's like you can get on a bus. Out there's agriculture. Hey.
Yeah.
But yeah, tiny town. It's still these big ass woo.
It's such a smart utilization of the space. It's, that's you see that over and over in these photos. There's just such a good quality of life. With the food, and then
like random
they're celebrating the fact that they have grown. Like I think that's what you really like see when you look at this is that there's a like not like we're not trying to hide it, we're not trying to pretend to be something else, we're not knocking down our old history and mowing everything over. Like no, like here's the great big thing of food where it used to be a tiny bit of food, and here's a big building in the middle of a mountain because like it's rad. Like so it just seems like it was like living, if we had that like overnight, like just tomorrow everything was that, like things would just be like so like peaceful and nice, like that's I think the biggest takeaway.
There is no barrier to making your stuff a little bit nicer,
right?
Well, no barrier other than like, I don't know, political will. Just and for the chat, this is live.
Oh yeah. We see you guys' comments.
We are real.
This is live. I was gonna address the comments and say hey to all you guys at the end of the show. I usually do it kind of in the middle, but I'm really engaged with this right now. So just stick with us, and I'll shout you out, and we'll say hey before we log off.
geez, I gotta try to slam through. We have to end at the end of Chongqing and not talk about Chengdu today because we're already at an hour. But we went
Yeah,
to
we can do
the
another. It's our show. We do what we want. We always say that before the show too. Like we'll do what we want. So yeah, we'll probably. It was a big trip, So we will probably do a second. We could do a second show easily.
Start looking at stuff next week. Finish
Yes.
out my third city here. But we went to the Chongqing 1949, the Grand Theater, which has the Chongqing 1949 show. Like, it's a purpose-built theater for one show that runs, I think 7 days a week. Actually, I was gonna say 6 days a week, and then like with multiple shows a day. It's an hour and a half long. And 1949, very significant number if you live in Chongqing, and if you're just like if you're in China in general. There's many things happening. 1949, 1950 or 49, I can't remember. Like, that's when the People's Republic was coming into became. That's when what we call China today became the People's Republic of China and stopped
Right.
being the Republic of China, which was the the, how do I even describe them? I don't know. The ones before Mao. They had the Chinese Civil War for quite a few years in the 40s. Like,
Yeah,
as soon
it
as World
wasn't
War
always
II
beer
ended,
and Skittles, guys. Like they had their struggles too.
as soon as World War II ended, which was a fucking nightmare against the Japanese, where they were fighting with the KMT or Kuomintang. That's who kind of runs Taiwan right now. Like, they lost the Civil War and got chased out they went to Taiwan. Like, we'll be back, and then they have not. Uh, but they were fighting alongside the KMT, and then as soon as the World War II ended, they beat the Japanese together. Which, hey, good job, good collaboration, everybody.
Yeah.
Glad you beat the Chinese. Glad you beat the Japanese, rather. They then had a civil war against each other to decide who actually governs China. And Chongqing was the capital, or at least the wartime capital, of the Republic of China, the KMT era. So Chongqing in 1949, you have a situation where the Red Army, the People's Republic, the People's Liberation Army, the PLA, has won the Civil War, and they're now like they're coming in on like, okay, the capital's like kind of sort of all that's left. So, and this is not. I've learned about this stuff within the last like 2 months, so I hope I don't portray it too cartoonishly. Because I mean, when you watch the show, obviously the good guys are going to be the People's Liberation Army, and the bad guys are going to be the KMT. This is like if you went and watched a freaking Civil War reenactment here. The Confederacy is the bad guys and will be portrayed as such, and the Union are the good guys. So what we have is they're like, all right, we know we lost this war, so instead of just being like, okay, let's leave, let's get out of here, blah blah, it's no, let's kill every communist we can. Let's start destroying it. Almost more importantly, is let's start destroying infrastructure, because since it's in the center of the country, it's a very defensible position and it's in the mountains. So any factories. They just started blowing up factories. So you want to leave your enemy with as little as possible, like strategically. But it also comes across as like cartoonishly evil, especially if you're in something like a stage musical, like
Yeah, right.
like a Chinese Les Mis situation going on.
The
But
dramatic representation of historical events.
the oh yeah, they had little ear translators, so like you could it was in English and I think Thai was the other language. It was like, I was like, okay, all right. I guess Thailand is like right there. They must have a lot
Right?
of tourists from Thailand.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we were sitting behind a bunch of, you're just trying to listen to people talk. I'm not really sure, but it sounded like they were speaking Russian. So you have like a bunch of Russian tourists. Like, nope, you guys get no translations. You just kind of sit here. We heard French being spoke to the side of us. It's like, haha, just us, English. We get
Right?
the translators. But the most the most you can tell, like, let's just say biased. The most funny way that things were portrayed in this is, so you have the characters that are in the city, Chongqing, but then it'll also flash out to PLA soldiers who are like, we have to get to Chongqing and save everybody. Like, hurry. my brother's in prison in Chongqing. There was like 3 brothers where one guy's like the chief of police for the KM. And this is real. These are real people. And it sounds so crazy. The KMT, like, chief of the secret police, one of the radical communists who's in prison, and one of the important guy in the military. All 3 of them are brothers. So you have the main villain, the main hero, and like guy who's not really, he's like trying to get there, hurry. All related, and of course in the final battle, everybody's shooting each other. It's very dramatic. and real. Like you're like, wow, this is so melodramatic. And then you look and like, here are their literal faces. These are them. Here's their dates of death, and they were all on the same day in 1949, of course, because
Wow.
this really happened. Probably not exactly as it was portrayed in like the singing and dancing, but these are historical
Slightly
events.
dramatized.
The PLA, when they would do the Red Army, when they were coming in, I don't think they're called the Red Army. I think that's only Russia, but yeah, you know what I mean when I say it. When the People's Liberation Army was coming in, they were literally stuck on wires and like above us, like running like angelically, like we're coming, we have to save the people. Like, okay, it's a little over the top, but I'm sitting there like getting misty eyed. I'm like, go. Get there! You gotta get to Changchi. Like doing like little like slow motion flips and have their guns and their poses and their
Matrix.
it was inspiring.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, the gimmick of this thing is that like you'll see that everything's like connected to these wires. Everything moved. These went up and down. The stage itself like was a series of concentric circles that rotated around, and then you as the audience, like you'd split off and rotate from each other, and then like stuff like scaffolding on the inside, and people are doing things and things are happening. Like, oh shit, very neat.
Yeah.
You might have issues with I'm pretty prone to motion sickness, and I didn't really have any troubles. I thought I was gonna when it first started moving, like, oh god, but it was fine by the end. And you see, like, it's very patriotic. You got the fucking flags going. Everybody's saluting. The thing that got me, it's like unfair because it's a musical, so it's like they can tweak your emotions if they're any good at what they're doing. And one was there was a child who was imprisoned with the communists, so a communist 7-year-old, I guess, who's just in jail with the rest. Famous historical figure. You see him all, they talk about him all the time. You learn about him in your Chinese history books. Real. But his mom gets taken away and executed, of course, because horrible. And she has her like final song where she's like, oh, I'm like, I may die, but you will live and grow to see the new China. Like after this is all for something. We already know that our side won. This is just some bullshit where we're gonna get killed for political reasons. But you will see the new China. Like, and I speak just like they didn't translate the song lyrics, but I heard her say like Zhongguo enough that I'm like, oh, she's saying about you will see the next generation of China. And then at the end, I'm like fucking crying right now. And then at the end, everybody comes out for the curtain call, and he's like, look, mom, the new China. And then they flip the lights on us, and it's like, oh god.
Oh. Well, it's like if you put that in the context of something you'd see here, like it makes complete sense, honestly. Like I'm kind of filtering it through like what you would see like the Fox version of like how America won the whole world and everyone loves America, pew pew. Like, so it really doesn't resonate with me as like being silly, because it's like I've seen the worst of like patriotism. So like
it makes me think of a potential like situation, well, not potential, where the inevitably it's gonna happen. Everybody, it just might not take as long or longer than you think, but this happened in the 50s, like 1950.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of people alive who were alive for the 50s. Like still, like there's people living in China where you're watching this 49. It looks like it's from the year 1049, like the way people are dressed and like the architecture, etc. Like the transformation of this nation, rhyming, like can't be undersold. Like it is just extreme how much they went from like a freaking stick and mud villages to all the pictures you've been seeing. Like you go from people who look like they're dressed in rags. It looks like Les Mis. It looks like 1800s, and then you go outside and this is the theater you're in.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was trying to get across, but I think you captured it a little bit better, which is that like look at the food, look at the portions, look at how the old and the new meet. Like they're not shying away from their history. They're celebrating it. They're showing you like look how far we've come, how quickly we've done it. Like we are celebrating ourselves because we're meant to celebrate ourselves. Yeah, that was interesting. The stick style chalet that you kind of looking, so
this is like the neighborhood that the show took place at. It's been reconstructed, but to look a bit still like they have the same kind of style roofs, and then you see just like Dairy Queen. The old and the new. But there will be a day where you have people who grew up in current fucked up America, and you're like, oh my god, we can't even dream of like having what will America be like when it is run by Americans? What will people's America be like when we finally get there? And China, like, they did it. It is impossible to deny that they did it. You can have as many criticisms as you want.
In a matter of decades, guys. Like, that cannot be undersold. Like, a matter of decades they did this. Like, it's not, like, oh, it took 200 years. No. It took 250 years for us to get to this garbage state. So like, I don't want to like hear about
It
like
took like 50 years for
done.
them under the worst conditions possible. When America finally does its goddamn revolution, there
Yeah.
is no second America that will be placing sanctions on us. We're it. It'll be
Yeah.
what you think fucking Sweden's gonna be over there like control. No, man, like this is it. Where this is the final empire, and when it falls, the conditions are so much better for us. When
Right.
Russia did its revolution, every country and every other major country in the world invaded it at once because they declared all of their debts null and void, and they're like, F that, we're gonna come in and get that money by force.
Right.
There is no other America, like Mars isn't gonna come down and be like, you owe us money. Like, it's kind of like
It's us
the
versus
evil
us.
is defeated. Like, that's why it's so important to give a shit here, because like you can have the view of like, well, we're the strongest, there's nothing we can possibly do, we're all so powerless. It's like, dude, people living in stick mud huts did it. They kind of beat, or at least like in a very clever way got around like the great Satan that
Right.
is still here, and they succeeded in spite of that. Once we defeat the great Satan, that's it. There's no like other Satan 2.
Right. No.
We're
are
actually in a
we are
prime
our
position.
own problem. Like, yeah, it's a very unique position in the way that we are our own problem and can defeat our own problems. Yet we are, people are really not, woken up to that kind of an idea yet.
So this will be my last little sequence. I did want to show. We went to the food court after the show, and these were it was a cheaper
Chickpeas and
cheaper
pasta.
food, but this was fine. You see my portion and quality of noodles, and then you see John wanted just like a chicken sandwich. It's very small. It's like one chicken nugget. It's like, eat the Asian food. If you go to Asian countries, eat the Asian food. You'll have a better time. If you want to eat like McChickens the whole time, you will have crappier food.
Right.
But we're going to our friend's house. That's where we'll end the thing, because we were going to have barbecue dinner just at home. We were just grilling, but like at somebody's house, which is done in a different style. But you pass like every one there's like one of these for every like square kilometer like in an area, because they serve a certain locale. And this is I'm having a fight with my neighbor, or I'm out of work, or like I have some problem in my life. Like these are
like a community like network like type of a thing. Wow.
like a community center that does more, like is more effective at actually
Wow.
helping you solve any problems. But yeah, it's like the Communist Outreach Center, Community Party Masses Service Center. So the masses can go and talk to the party and be like, hey man, this guy's garden is encroaching on my land. Can you like mediate this dispute or something?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like a really good idea. Like
Or help, I'm being attacked by my
in
shitty
the
boyfriend.
United
I don't
States,
know.
that's just called guns. So.
So we end up inside
Go to the
one of
gun
these.
store.
It's like a cluster of high rises. That kind of sort of it feels like you're going to like a gated community, and there is a guard, and we're like, oh shit, we have to pull out our passports. But he's looking at us just like, hey, you're shit, go, like, you're very tall, and we're like, yeah, man, and then he's just like, come on in.
Come in for being tall.
Like there was like a paper like what looked like a guest book sign-in sheet. He didn't have us do any of that shit. He's like, yeah, come on in, man, it's fine. Like I guess if we had a delivery or something. And then this is, you see, like they have like a tennis court and their playground. We came in, there were kids just like at one of the fountains that just had like water guns, and they would fill the thing and then just spray it in the air, and then all the kids would go, yay.
Is this what we're told is like the horrible communist housing like scenario? Like
This is like middle upper. Like they're not super rich, but these, like I don't want to act like every single person in Chongqing is living in a place like this. These are slightly nicer high rises, and I had some people who were like, "Oh, it's so depressing with the concrete." It's like
living.
I could
living
see
in a
how
house
one
is
could
depressing. Like
I could see how one could look at this and be like, "Oh, like it's depressing concrete." Like I personally am like, it's fine. It doesn't bother me that much.
it could use a couple potted plants, but are you seeing me complain about it? Like no.
But this is inside of the apartment, and this is how they will grill. They do these like tabletop propane. They're still propane, so he's got open flames in their living room. But propane grill. You open the windows, and then you start grilling up some shit. Some mushrooms. There's meat. Hey,
That's fun.
here's like you don't get saucy condiments as much as you get like there'll be powders. So you're like, all right, let's dip my meat chunk in this flavorful powder. There's like weird cauliflower. Oh yeah, it'll be the final thing here. In Chongqing, I saw a lot of seats of this style, which it's it's like a 2x4 that you just gotta like balance.
Not for
on this
American butts. Like, clearly.
I'm sure it's just a style of like, this is really cheap to make benches like this.
Right.
And I'm sure it's also partially like, well, you can't sit here for too long because it's uncomfortable. So like, eat and get up.
Eat
Like,
and go. Yeah,
eat and
right?
get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, back here where it's like, can we put like 2 of those together and call ourselves geniuses? Like, sit there
Yeah.
and drink beer all day? Like, that's what we need to do.
All right, I'm ending my photos for now. I still have,
Yes.
oh boy, we're at least 2/3 of the way through, and I can show you
That's
some.
all right. We're gonna, we'll keep talking about this. We're gonna, celebrate having done this in lieu of, having to do a large, video log again. So we'll be back again with you next week. I do want to shout out the chat. Thank you guys for keeping up with us, even though we couldn't really spare the time to talk. So thanks to Time Traveler and Nathan Coyote for reaching out to us and talking to us.
Oh yeah, Bogo's in the chat. When it says restream? So restream is the platform that we use to multi-stream to YouTube, Twitch, and is it just YouTube, Twitch right now? Yeah, Are we on Rumble?
Yes, yeah, and Timu as well, Bogos. Thank you for asking. We are live. This is presently live.
I can see how the name Restream as like the company name would make it sound like we are streaming something again.
Yeah, no, yeah, it should have a little live badge, but I don't think that it does. But when you see us, if you're, like if it's Tuesday in the hour-ish of 1, and we are live. I'm seeing a comment here from Nathan that says about your book, The Big Bad Wolf, and it's one of the most engaging books I've had the privilege of reading. Thank you so much for saying so. I really appreciate that.
I'm glad you read it.
Time Traveler seconded that emotion, and so thank you so much for saying so. That really does mean a lot. It's hard out here, so when you guys say things like that, it is really, really helpful to us. And remember also, you can always get I almost called you by your stage name like you're not a person. You can always get Jared's music. It's available on every platform as well. He does the music on our intro, and he does, he's Mr. Singer-songwriter, world traveler. So you can get treated to some really, really excellent music as far as that goes. So you guys, thank you so much for checking out. Where I've seen there's, I guess, in Yongchin there was some bad flooding. Time Traveler mentions.
Yes, they say China has historically had flooding issues and continue to have some. That's why the Three Gorges Dam is such a big deal, and they talk about it a lot. It's this marvel of engineering. It's humongous, and it still prevents a shit ton of downstream flooding. Like a huge, like half of the population is downstream of that freaking of the Three Gorges. So like, there's less of that, but it's still a thing they're dealing with.
Nathan says, I'm used to you calling him War Kitty, meaning John.
Kitty.
So yeah, I think in the community, like everybody gets like a whole bunch of nicknames. I think that's what we're really like. That's like everybody gets like different nicknames. It's just like with your pet at home, like you have like 4 different nicknames for your cat. So like that's kind of how it works out. But we really appreciate you, even though we weren't able to engage as much as we normally do. Thank you so much for shouting out. Again, thank you for the compliments on my book. I really appreciate that. We're out here, we're struggling, we're indie, so every little mention counts, every share counts, every download counts. That's gonna keep the lights on for us and keep the show going for you, which again, it's live right now. It won't be live in a few minutes or seconds or time, I don't know, whatever time works in the stream. But in so saying, you can watch our entire history of shows on our YouTube channel as well as our Rumble channel. When I manage to remember to put the videos on there, which I'd be forgetting sometimes. But I do. Sometimes I'll be like, did I? And I go and I look and it's like, oh, it's been 2 weeks. Jeez. And I'll have to put some videos on real quick. But you can catch us there. We do broadcast on YouTube Live and on Twitch Live. And we don't really, we're probably, because of the things we say, even though we try to abide as best as we can, probably are getting throttled pretty good. I know that on our socials we do. So, again, follows and shares and things like that help with that as well. If you like what we have to say and you want other people to hear it and share it. So this
is danger of like throwing us on a thing that's going to take more minutes of conversation, but critical support to critical meaning with criticism. Critical support to Hassan Piker and Medea Benjamin, who are now being politically persecuted by the Trump administration because they stepped this tiny bit out of line. Remember, Hassan Piker is a guy who is the opposite of throttled. He is pushed at us. He's put on the cover of GQ and shit, and it wasn't okay when the Trump administration was going after people like the Uhuru movement, the Uhuru 3, who were put through fucking hell for the crime of being left. And now we have Hassan, who is a puppet of the Democrats, still is not able to get out. Like, it's gonna come for you, man. If they come for him, they'll come for us. And it's not that like as many critical support, as many criticisms as I have, as messed up. Fuck that.
Not Hassan. Good, not great.
He's not in jail or anything, but they have.
Like, we hate it when that kind of thing happens, where we're like, we have to like agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene or Tucker Carlson or something. Like, don't fucking put us in that position.
If they started trying to put Marjorie Taylor Greene in jail for being against the Iran war, I would be like, that is bad.
Yeah, and now we end up in the same position with Hassan Piker and Piker, and I don't even like to platform those people. You know, like they've got enough, you know, doing their own bullshit, and then us just talking
about it.
That's
what I mean by the opposite of throttle. They're platformed at us no matter, like, I don't look for Hassan. His shit is in my face every day.
Yeah, right. You can't get past it. And it's like, you know, and that's the thing. Like, we don't want to draw more attention. They're already vacuums. But again, our critical stance is, hey, leave them alone.
No political prosecution. Stop trying to put people in prison for speech.
So draconian. And
this is America.
Yeah, it's so draconian and so stupid. Like, that's like the number one dumbest shit you could do. Like, you know, come the fuck on. And, you know, hopefully, like, it doesn't amount to anything. And
I hope it radicalizes him, actually. I hope he's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I took all their money and said everything they wanted me to say, and I still got in trouble.
Right. Yeah, because don't forget that Hassan Piker is a millionaire, like, a few times over. Like, so, like, he's not hurting. He's going to be able to afford good lawyers. He's going to get out of this. But, you know, the fact of the matter is, it is bullshit. And it's something we definitely are on the record, do not agree with and do not want to see happen. And if it can happen to them, it'll happen to, you know, smaller people, you know, along the way as well. So
I hope if I get subpoenaed, somebody will be standing up for me.
Right. Yeah, that's the hope here. Yeah, we're putting out the feelers now, like, nah, bro, we always been down with you. So you know, can you shoot your lawyer over here a little bit?
It's got to be that when you look back and they're like, what were you saying at this time? It's like, well, I was saying the thing that you fucking should be saying. Didn't really do anything, but I was over here, like, put me in that checkbox.
Yeah, right. Yeah. We do try to abide with our language, because we feel like we would be a lot more vitriolic, a lot more militant, probably, if we could say whatever we actually wanted to say. But getting our videos taken down isn't going to do anybody any good. It's going to, you know, stop us from being, you know, able to post. It's going to stop people from hearing what we say. We get a lot of our views after, you know, the air, because we are on a 1 and a Tuesday. It's kind of weird. So, like, people
when we have the time.
Yeah, people are mostly tuning in, like, after the fact and seeing it, enjoying it after the fact. So we just don't want to have to, like, cut that stream off and just basically cut our own throats in that way. So we do try to use like neutral language as best as we can, but it sucks, and we wish we didn't have to do that. We shouldn't have to do that. And even it goes to show you the people who are really just trying to do humanitarian aid, maybe for their own ends, maybe to further themselves, or maybe because they genuinely are doing it, it doesn't matter what the motivation is. They are now being accosted by the system unfairly for such a thing. So do keep your eye on those stories, support those stories, you know, keep that message going out there. And then again, like we always like to say, like, get your own voice out there. If you feel like, you know, I don't want to sound ableist, because, like, you know, some people can't do this or that or the other thing. Just, if you have the internet already and you're watching people say stuff, you say stuff too. You know, your voice. If everybody else could be assholes on the internet, so can you. So, like, get out there, say something, do something, write a little diatribe, or, you know, whatever you like, or share some memes or whatever. But that's, you know, just, you know, being a community and trying to find community in a place where it's been very much stripped away from us as a society, and we really don't even know what that means. At the same time that we are sitting here talking about how things work in China, when they have a community center meant to uplift community and de-escalate tensions and situations, and we, you know, have guns. Like, our societies are very different.
Damn it, you can do both.
No, it's not an anti-gun thing. I'm just saying, like, you can be both, but we would would like to see some more diplomacy brought into this whole thing, and we would like to see our rights, not be throttled as what you're supposed to be guaranteed. Everybody wants to go founding fathers on it. We're supposed to get both of those things. So
if you think China's capitalist, cool, let's do that kind of capitalism.
Yeah,
sure
like let's do their version, bro, all day. I'm fucking here for it, So like that's the thing. And we've gone pretty far afield today with all of this, and we didn't really even get to talk about anything except for just here in the last couple of minutes.
No politics.
Right, yeah, but that's the thing. So we will be back again next week. We'll talk more about his trip and see more of these really great pictures and have this conversation. It's important for everybody to see how other people are living and see how shit you are living. That's basically, I think, the takeaway here is like another way is possible. It's not only just possible, it's literally happening right now. Right now, like this is 2 weeks ago, bros. Like right now it's happening. So on that note, thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you for all your great comments. We appreciate it. And we will see you next week with more fantastic comments and dickhead commentary. And we appreciate you. So have a good week. And you can always reach out to us on social. We'll be there. Even if you have trouble finding us, we're there. So take care, everybody.
Wow.
Come on.